Hello and welcome to the second session of Pressure, which is a new industrial science fiction role-playing game from Osprey. It uses the same basic system that Jonathan Hicks used for a previous game for this, whereas that one was very much sort of colonists and space people caught in a sort of alien style thing. In this version, our characters are a little more tuned, though they may not feel that after last session, a little more potent than other characters. So we are going to be taking up today with another mission. Oh, by the way, my name's Lowell, pronouns he, him. And this session is part of Open Hearth Gaming. Hey, by the way, in case it'll piss you off, we use safety tools. Just wanted to tell everyone that because sometimes people will turn this off and then leave a nasty comment and delicious tears. So just know that we're using a layered set of safety tools, lines and veils, X card, and also open door. So we had for last session, we had our characters can reset your pressure level back down to 0. Essentially, when you get to go into the hypersleep chambers, you're able to recover from that. I don't believe anyone had any other penalties. I will go ahead and hide Bucket's character. And columns. For those of you who may have watched last session, we had a player that had to open door for today, so we're down to 3. The other thing that you may do is you may take another skill point in something. And if you wish, you may move one of your skill points around. If after last session you're like, oh, maybe I'd better be placed here, feel free to do that. So put those two offers out there. Close this. So we begin with our ship again dropping out of hypersleep, out of warp, out of hypersleep. Again, we see the mechanical arms come down to pull those pods out of their spots in the walls, bring them down, unload. Mac, you are first up this time, and kind of unload from that. There's that staggering around as these come. Here is what you will see is essentially the SAM that is the pilot. I imagine a little bit like the like on a rig kind of cockpit pilot thing that maybe we saw in the Matrix, where we see that chair come down into this area with the SAM in it. And the SAM will wait until everyone is up. They will say that the admin assistant that you got last time is still in her hypersleep pod, and per your instructions, pending review of performance, if you have put the fourth member of your team also is being held off. So the SAM, yes.
One of the last things that happened before we ended the session last time was Tara was pretty badly injured in the blast of the base getting destroyed.
Oh yeah.
So I was thinking maybe she's in like medical stasis
Yeah.
for a spell.
What does that look like? Is it a different tube? Is it a bacta tank? Like what do we see on screen for that medical stuff? What do you think?
I think it's definitely separate from the rest. It's kept separate and it's got its kind of extra like emergency backups, and it has extra monitors on it, and all the squiggly lines are going by and things like that. But I'm sure it's got hoses, connected to the exterior, and like every once in a while it vents steam or something, and there's a lot of condensation on the window.
Uh, the Sam will drop down into here. And again, he has the stickers all over his back. He has that sort of almost unreal face to him. as he comes through, and he will say, Commander, we have been heading to Frontier Station 7, a mining facility, as we needed to resupply on compacted Farragon for the warp drive to make up for an earlier maintenance error with the drive unit. We are in system. However, en route, we received the following transmission. And I think that then Sam opens its mouth and the transmission you'll hear come out of them rather than having a separate speaker. And you will hear kind of cut in quick and older woman's voice, anxious tension in that voice. And you will hear, this is Overseer Trellis of Frontier Station 7, Wayne Tanaka, which is the corporation that runs it. Wayne Tanaka, access authorization code Harbinger Q735. This is a distress call for any SOS teams with Midnight Black on spec payment authorization. We're, and then it cuts out. And the Sam will say, we are approaching Frontier 7 station. As of this moment, there has been no further comms traffic. And I think that at that point, the Sam will get out of the chair and gesture for Logan to take the controls.
Yeah, I'm gonna like jump in, but before I like strap myself in, I'm gonna turn to Mac and say, curious question, boss. If Mason is in medical stasis, does she earn a share for this mission? Because it sounds like it's gonna pay pretty well.
If you don't do the job, you don't get paid. And she's not doing the job.
Harsh, but fair. We'll buy her a beer afterwards when she gets out.
Yeah. She's taking up all of her sick leave right now on that.
I mean, official sick leave. That sounds less dystopic than I was giving her credit for.
Yes. The problem is that the sick leave also ticks down while you're in hypersleep, so not great.
So, Logan, just to be clear, do we have enough fuel to get out of here if we don't pick up anything more here? Because this sounds like it could go sideways, and if it goes sideways, I want a back door.
Logan, let's have you make a science roll.
Well, I'm going to be pretty confident that, I mean, it'll be very unusual for us not to have fuel reserves. Even
The
though
problem is that you're going here because you had a leak. Let's roll and see what you think.
Yeah. 7 on the nose.
7 on the nose. So I think you are pretty sure, and I'm telling you this so you can relay this however you want to the commander, that to have a margin of safety, you definitely need more. You might be able to go and approach the nearest like transit station from here, but it'd be tight. Does that seem like a reasonable answer?
Yeah, we know where we stand, I guess.
Yeah.
So I pull up the schematics and I do I guess a quick simulation, right? And everyone else can be looking over my shoulder as I do it. And I like
don't like that you need to bring up this before you answer.
And I suck my teeth and I go, I mean, someone might need to walk to the nearest gas station with an empty can for us to do something after doing this job, but I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, just as long as we can get out of here without being dead in space. That's all I'm asking.
Listen, everyone else is sending distress signals. I don't see why we should be excluded from that privilege.
Well, you know, they charge for that. So doctor
Sure.
pay.
We will cut to the external of the ship, so we can sort of event horizon style see the ship coming into frame. We will see the gas giant that the Frontier 7 station orbits. What we will see is it's a fairly large facility, lots of modules on it. The end of it that sort of faces towards the planet, you will see that there are sort of four almost like cranes that come off from that. And you will know that essentially these lower teams down into the atmosphere that do the gathering. There are tunnels that are connected. People can climb up and down them, but it requires, there's sort of, how to put this, because the atmospheric disturbance, they can't use computerized things. They have to do it all sort of old by mechanical gathering and then bringing this stuff up, and then it's processed on site. And Logan, let's have you make a piloting roll here. Oh,
That's
yeah.
an 11. Yeah.
You will bring it around and come in kind of conserving fuel, but also so you can get an eye on this. It looks like one of the four sort of drops is halfway down. The other three are up, like in like position on the station, not down into the atmosphere. But the other thing you'll see is that there is another ship that is docked with the station. There are several docking ports, and there's another ship that is hard docked with, you know, the full like walk through and like cargo transit from that ship to the station. And it is labeled as the SV Reynolds. And I think with that roll, Logan, with that, I think you bring it around and you can get into position. You're not getting any comms traffic from that ship or from the station, but you'll soon realize that you can see where essentially the transmitter and antenna array on the ship would be, that it is damaged. Something has happened. I think with the 11, I think you could tell that there was an internal explosion.
Okay. I mean, I'll point this out to Mac and to Wyatt, and maybe I'm sure Wyatt is already with the medical gear, but internal explosion sounds gnarly, so heads up on that.
Should we expect hard vacuum in there?
No, that's just on the ship. It's not on the station.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. The ship looks like it had that. Its comms array blown up. You can actually see the station's comms array still looks like it's intact.
What, do we
Weird
know
that
anything
they're
about this Reynolds ship? Is it on our list of bolos or whatever the SOS have?
Uh, let's see. Let's have our doctor with computers make a roll.
Indeed. What is that is education?
Yeah, education and
Excellent.
computers, yeah.
That is a 9.
It is listed as a Wayne Tanaka supply ship, but like you're not it must have come online early. There's a little anomaly there. Like you look at the service date, and it should not necessarily be in service right now.
Hmm. All right, that's the company that runs the station.
Yeah.
Okay, but
And
so
and like most companies, like you operate as independent contractors, so you are not directly beholden to the companies, except that they write you a check eventually.
yeah. All right, so I say it looks, if we didn't have its schedule, it wouldn't be suspicious, but we have its schedule and it's not supposed to be here.
This all sounds great. Well, they don't offer this much pay for a milk run, so we should expect something very wrong here. I don't know if we should expect what we saw on the last place. Hopefully not. Hopefully this is just people, but yeah, wouldn't be too sure.
Um, I'm thinking of something that is, unethical. But if we need to get out of here in a hurry, it might be a good idea to, see if the ship has got some spare fuel tanks. Maybe we could siphon some off.
Yeah, if the crew got taken out by that whatever took out the array, then I mean it's salvage, right?
Out of character, it was the station that sent the distress call, right? Not the ship?
The overseer for the station sent the distress call.
Okay.
As you approach proximity, Logan, you will see the automated lights, where the lights come out and start doing the spinning, and you will see the essentially the gantry start to extend clearly, automated for you to lock on, connect, and walk across.
Mhm.
And if you
I
want to, you
mean,
can easily nestle this into there.
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if we're contractually obliged for one of us to say I've got a bad feeling about this, but I am exercising that right as I nestle the golden butt into this docking bay.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
There'll be that vibration through the ship as it locks on. You'll hear the magnetic clamps lock on and grab onto the ship, holding it in place for safety. And you'll hear the sound of the cycling, and as essentially atmosphere is pumped in from the station into the cross tube. And then the cycling is done and the lights will go green.
Yeah. Can I do something particularly paranoid before like I leave this chair? I'm gonna is our comms array can it be like withdrawn inside its like little bulb, or is it always out?
Now, I like the idea that you can pull it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it back, which is
Okay.
unusual, but
Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Mac, I assume Dr. Solari, everyone suits up, get your med kits, everything like that.
Yeah, Wyatt's particularly keen on kitting up as if this is a hostile mission. Like we are effectively answering a distress call, right? So he's making a show of readying the rifle and making sure it's sort of I mean it's a stretch for him to be battle ready, but it's looking, and he's he kind of wonders. It's as if he was going to say this to Mac, but it's more like he's pondering aloud if we should be in pressure suits. He's kind of like, but
Do you
he
want to
doesn't
load up in full pressure suits?
he doesn't want to be the one to say it. But he's kind of like,
Yeah,
I wonder if we need pressure suits.
I had the same thought. Can you, or maybe you, Logan, can you check? Can we like connect to their systems and see if they have pressure? I don't want to open the airlock and just.
I mean, I don't think that the question is, do they have pressure? Is that will they try to space us if they don't like us? So
Fair point.
I say already putting on my pressure suit boots.
So
It's like, wow, I just thought there might have been an accident or
Yeah.
something, but okay, whatever. I mean, if we're putting on the suits, let's put on the suits. I'm down.
Yeah, whatever. I hate these fucking things, but
So Mac,
You're gonna hate the vacuum of space more, Mac.
yeah.
what is the design for these suits? Are we more sleeker like 2001, or are we more Nostromo, big pods from Alien, or are we some other mix? Like what did we see? What are these? Are these a little more combat ready? What do you think?
Sorry, was that who was that?
Mac.
Matt. Yeah. I think they're pretty bulky, but they're more. They're not. They're definitely not sleek. Um, but they are like you can move in them. You can crouch if you need to.
Okay.
But they're not like you're not doing gymnastics in them unless you're in 0G. That you can do whatever. But yeah.
What is the thing you hate most about these suits?
Wyatt doesn't like that because they're much more kind of utility suits, right? Like it says if you had to go out and do repairs or something, it's that kind of thing. He doesn't like that the helmet is effectively just an all around dome. Like it's not backed with a face shield. It's just a dome of see-through material, and he always feels like stuff's going on behind him, and he doesn't. There's like weird reflections. Does not enjoy that, and he's like, I can't see if it's cracked back there.
So we'll see the three of you come down. You'll check the pressure, check the atmo on the crossway. It checks out. You'll open those doors, walk down, head down that way, because this is a science fiction thing. Somehow it has artificial gravity. So there's no nothing to worry about there. You'll get to the other end. It will also have a reading showing on the inside, airlock and past, Atmo is at 100%. Like looks like everything stays this clear green. You'll hit the buttons, step into the lock. The doors will shut behind you with a significant thunk. And then there'll be a moment while it cycles. And imagine these are pretty big doors because the intent is that cargo might be taken back and forth. So these are pretty significant. The doors will open, and you will see there is a cargo bay. You see some minimal lighting there. You'll see various containers in places stacked around. And you will see there is a guy standing there, has a data pad, and he's standing kind of waiting for you to come through. And it's just kind of like looking at you, clearly waits until you get your helmets off or what not.
Yeah, and I have my rifle not like pointed at him, but like I'm holding it. We received a distress call.
Who are you people?
Oh, where I don't know how we identify.
You tell
like,
me. Like you're an SOS
okay.
team is, but so
Yeah, we're SOS team. What do you say, Griffin? Maybe.
okay. Uh, so I'm Marshall Connors. Uh, you received a distress call.
Yeah, from the overseer.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, we had an incident with the overseer. Um, uh, i- in fact, we've got kind of a small situation here, uh, and probably need to tell you that probably need to be under medical quarantine here. So my suggestion is that maybe you,
I'm putting my helmet back.
yeah, yeah. Uh, this is probably not a great place for you all to be. If you want, you know, we'll get that you can head back on your ship and we'll get the docking detached and you can mosey on your way.
Well, we
That'd
also
suit
need
you,
to
huh?
refuel. So
Pardon?
we also need to refuel.
And repair.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so you probably need, okay, do you have like the details of what you need?
I mean, Marshall, whatever the fuck. We got a distress call, so we are obligated uh, to go out of our way to investigate it and to establish that nothing is going on. So,
Yeah, no, oh, no, absolutely. Let me tell you the sitch. Let's go down to the canteen, and I can give you a briefing on that. If you want to change out of the suits and hang them in the lockers, or do you want to keep them on? It's up to you.
You're under medical quarantine?
We have the situation isolated. I'm not wearing a suit, for example. It's up to you.
White says, in Wyatt's mind, it's cooking that he's gonna try and doctor his way through this, but for the time being, he just says like,
Yeah.
no, I'll keep the suit on.
Okay. Logan, Mac, you keep your suits on?
Yeah, if the doc is keeping his suit on, I'm keeping my suit on.
Okay.
Because he
Okay, so
doesn't like the suit. So if he's wearing it, then there's a reason for it.
if Mac says that, then Wyatt'll take that cue and he'll kind of show, that sort of corporate credentials for medical, whatever. And he's like, I will of course have to make a full report to the company. If you would direct me to your medical staff, I could get that
Would you please
taken
make a
care of.
perception roll, Wyatt?
Sure. That sounds. Oh, that's under charisma, right? Oh, look at me with a point in perception. That is another 9.
So when you say that you're a doctor, his reaction is not one of relief, but of, oh, okay.
Yeah,
And you'll see him get squirmy. And as you're kind of standing there having a talk, you will see come up, you'll hear them coming up down the cargo bay. You will see another pair of figures coming walking this way. And you'll see the marshal kind of turns around and looks at them and kind of waits and doesn't say anything more to you for a moment here.
If he does he turn away from us to
Yes.
okay, when he looks away, I make eye contact with Mac and just sort of give it that face.
Yeah, I nod. Are those figures are moving towards us? Do they
Yeah.
look armed?
Like sidearms. They're not armed at all like you are.
Yeah.
But you see two figures. I mean, they are dressed. They're definitely like they're taking stock of you. I mean, they can see you're in suits. They probably can't tell. I mean, they can see your guns, but they probably can't tell you've got like body armor and shit on under that yet. They probably haven't clocked that. But you'll see this woman and man come up, and uh, the marshal goes, so this is an SOS team. They got a distress call from the overseer, and they're here, and they need to refuel. They have a doctor with them. And the woman will look and will go, oh, well, she'll step forward. I'm Captain Ingersulla. I'm the captain of the Reynolds.
Yeah, you seem to have some trouble as well.
Our troubles are related. This is Auditor Shen. He's overseeing things here for the repairs and maintenance that we're here for on the station. So we've been here a couple weeks, and she's clearly like she steps up, the marshal steps back, like, let her talk kind of thing. We've been here a couple weeks. We arrived to do a resupply, maintenance, change out of systems on the mining equipment. And we've been working on that. It's a slow process. But we had an outbreak of something amongst the miners. It, for a lot of them, seems to manifest into kind of a lethargy and general malaise and illness, which has meant that they've not been able to work and have gotten worse from there. But for some of them, it's created a sense of extreme paranoia in them. Unfortunately, Overseer Trellis and a couple of her staff had that happen to them. And comms for the station haven't been working. There's some solar flare activity, we believe. Overseer Trellis broke onto my ship, got to the comms room there, and then we don't know what happened. I had no idea that she'd sent anything out, but there was an explosion. It took out the ship's comms, and like, it was bad. We're still doing repairs on that. Which, Logan, you saw what was on the outside of the ship, and they're not doing repairs on that right now. So that's the situation right now. We're trying to get our maintenance and repair work done ASAP so that we can get out, maybe head back and call in a medical support team to come here and look at the situation.
Well, my first question is, was the overseer medically cleared when she made that distress call, or had she been written up?
Problem is, the overseer was in charge of the station, so we, as far as I know, our doctor that we brought with us didn't have a chance. He's been so occupied with the miners. So she wasn't medically cleared, but she also wasn't medically labeled. Look, I'm sure that when you talk to Wayne Tanaka, they'll be able to settle out your affairs, settle out your money on this.
She sent, was it Midnight Black? Was that the?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent a Midnight Black, so it's substantial money for us.
Well, that's good for you. Look, you don't have to do anything. We'll get you fueled up. You can take off. You answer the SOS call. I'll write up a report that says that you handled the situation, and explaining what occurred with Overseer Trellis. You might get some pushback from the company, but on the other hand, that's one of their overseers going off the deep end. They may just want to sweep it under the carpet, and you may just get paid. No problem. That's the way I
Or
look
not.
at it.
Yeah, but you know how the suits get when you don't cross all the T's and dot all the I's. We'll have to at least do an on-site inspection, make sure we can tell them that we've looked at whatever it is. And I mean, we're not interested in digging into this any more than we need to, but we are interested in getting paid.
Look, I am with you 100% on that. This is work. I'm sorry, Marshall Connors, would you like show them around? Auditor Shen, I'm sure you need to get back to the engineering work. And I need to get back to my ship to see how repairs are going. So, was it Holden? You're in charge?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And which one of you is the doctor?
That would be me.
Okay. Yeah. Dr. Bass is in the infirmary if you want to talk to him.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure this will be no problem. We'll need to just get his thumbprint on this, and then it'll be fine.
All right. And she'll smile and say, all right, I'm gonna let's break. And she'll begin walking towards the other thing to get back on her ship. The auditor starts walking back down the thing, and the marshal go, so where do you want to go first? Do you need to get you bunks? Do we need to go to the commissary?
Well, Mac, I don't imagine we'll be staying that long, will we?
That's not the plan. We need to check things out. We need to get some fuel, and then we'll be out of here.
Okay. Well,
I'll tell you, Marshall, the quickest way to rubber stamp this and get this all taken care of, I could just take a quick look at the overseer, verify the medical condition. We should be ready to roll as far as the paperwork goes.
well, she was in the explosion.
On the Reynolds?
Yeah, their comms room went up.
Well,
So
we'll just need to take a quick look there then.
Well, I can't speak to that. That's Captain Ingersolla's domain. You'll have to talk to her, but if you want me to show you anywhere around on the station, I can do that.
No, why don't we just take a peek where the Reynolds is docked? We'll probably have to talk to the captain anyway.
Okay. Can you give me a minute? It kind of caught me in the middle of some shift changes. So I need to go take care of a couple of things here if you want to hang on for a moment.
Well, why don't you meet us in the infirmary? I'll go talk to Dr. Bass.
Okay. Let me get you and he'll kind of like text you the map to the infirmary because it's a pretty big place. And he'll say, okay, I'm going to go take care of my things, and I'll meet you in the infirmary in say 60 clicks. Sound good?
Whenever you're finished, I'm sure
Okay.
the doctor and I will have plenty to talk about.
And he will head off hurriedly, as if he does not want to be in your presence any longer.
I assume we have some sort of we have comms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
I
have
will use
private
those.
channel comms.
Yeah. To talk to the others.
So,
Okay,
so who are we
clearly-
more paranoid about?
Yeah. Either we've already caught that virus, or there is something fishy going on here. But we still want to get paid. We still need fuel. So just no wandering off. We stick together. We do the bare minimum, and we get out.
Okay,
Sound
well,
fair?
I mean, like, one of us should follow the captain to see what evidence she's brushing under the carpet, and one of us should make sure that the marshal or whatever the fuck is not planning to murder us when we have our back turned later, or whatever. Um,
Okay, so meta discussion. Do we want to split the party or do we want to stick together?
It's up to you all.
Because I'm fine either way.
Yeah, splitting sounds fine to me if that's but yeah, Wyatt in this discussion with amongst us, Wyatt is clearly kind of into this, and he's not into this, but he's invested in it. And he's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like he's like, they said they've been here for weeks. We know that ship should still be in the Star Dock. Like, he goes, I want to talk to one person who was on this station before that ship got here. Like, he's just kind of he's just kind of getting, but he understands the kind of like the priorities set here. But so he's sort of like, look, we got the distress call, and we just need to check the boxes so that the company says we responded. If the person who sent the call is not available, like, how this works, we need to find someone who
Yeah.
someone who can sign off on our involvement here.
Yeah. So Wyatt clearly going to the infirmary. Donna, do you want to go with the marshal or the captain?
I mean, who do you think we could afford to piss off more?
It seems like the marshal is less important, like he's deferring to the captain.
Yeah.
Okay. On the other hand, the captain is on the ship. You know more about the technical stuff, so I'm not sure what's better there.
Okay. I'll go to the Reynolds. So I mean, I'm just like maybe observing that they had to ask if Mac was in control. They had to ask if Wyatt was the doctor, but they knew I was going to be the pain in the ass, right?
Yeah.
So you will start moving through the station. Mac, you kind of take off now. I'm going to ask you all. Well, I think you might be able to move around with some discretion with your body armor on. I mean, it's made for a little bit of control and even, let's say, stealth. I do not believe that you can stealth in these spacesuits. So the question is, are you going to keep them on or take them off? Mac?
I'm leaning towards keeping it on and just be okay with drawing attention. Like I'm okay with being the one who draws attention, especially if it gives the others a little bit more room to maneuver.
Logan?
Well, I think I'm going out to the Reynolds, right, to talk to the captain. So heading through the umbilical docking bay into a ship I don't know where there's been an explosion. I'm keeping the pressure suit on.
And Dr. Solari?
Yeah, definitely suit on, and also no stealth. Like, he's trying to do all of this official and above board. He's like, I'm going to the infirmary. I'm a doctor.
Yeah, so you will move through. You are loud. Your steps echo in here because you've got those mag boots on. These suits are generally made a little more for 0G. So they are bulky in here. But let's start with you, Dr. Solari. You will follow the directions down from here, get to the end of the cargo bay. A lot of empty shipping containers here, that kind of thing that you have to move through. Lots of shadows. They don't have to light this place particularly well. So there's lots of darkness in between those as you make your way down.
On the route, like, say, from docking to the place, what's the, is it like an active station? Or people running around doing stuff, or is it kind of deserted feeling?
You would expect there to be more people around.
Okay.
Like, you move through the main hall, like you didn't see anybody in the cargo bay.
Right. Okay.
You will come down you can see where it splits off to go down towards engineering and mines, down towards dorms. There's a common area apparently, and then off towards infirmary and like the other where they lock stuff up kind of thing. And I think in the common room, you will see there are some miners in there. Like literally it's one of those big rooms, like it could hold like 50, 60 people, and there's like 2 people at a table, each with a cup of coffee.
Okay.
They'll look up as you come in.
All right. I give them a sort of acknowledgement, but I kind of keep my I'm heading somewhere with purpose attitude. So
And you could head down towards the infirmary, and again, hallways, you'd expect there to be maybe some techs or things around here, but you're not seeing that. You'll get down to the infirmary door, whoosh, and you'll see there are probably a dozen beds in here. All of them have people in them. You can see that there are a couple of makeshift cots as well, kind of between beds. And there are various very basic scanners and things, and like the kind of med packs that for you pass for aspirin are stuck to them. And you'll see this guy at a desk, and he looks up at you and he says, "Who the fuck are you?"
I go, Dr. Bass, I presume.
Yeah.
Dr. Solari. I hold up some med credentials. SOS Team Griffin. We just arrived on the station. I say, first off, of course, if I can be of any help, do let me know. But I do have to tell you, I'm here just to make an inspection and a report, because we are on an official call answering mission. I'm sure I have a better term for it than that.
Captain Ingersolla clear this?
From the Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one who suggested I come see you.
Okay. I'll kind of stand up. See, he's a little hesitant. And he does come over, walks around the desk.
I'm in a full head bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, we don't think it's airborne.
That's good. That's good.
But
I make no move to. Yeah.
He says, well, you're welcome to check these guys out.
I say, well, maybe. Let's see. Oh, I will. But did you also receive any of the casualties from the Reynolds explosion? That's where my captain's headed now.
As I understand it, there weren't any casualties. They were just corpses.
Damn shame. I guess I have I have some kind of like a notepad, or I don't know if it's a digital pad, but as he's talking, I'm just kind of like, oh, damn shame. I go, okay, well, yeah, if you want to, I'll take a look at the patients, but really I just need to check out the records.
And he will gesture, and we'll come back to you on the med roll here. Logan, kind of like a couple minutes after the captain has headed back to her ship, you will go walking towards the other airlock. It's a little ways down from where you docked on. And you will see there is the big cargo doors there. You'll see there's some rolling pallets that they've got outside with some stuff on it. And there is a guy like in tack armor and sidearm, like not unlike your own design, who is clearly stationed there as a guard.
Well, I'll clank up to him. I mean, casual, but not too casual.
And he does, as you approach, he will raise the gun, levels it, and he's like, "Who are you?"
And I'm not gonna really raise my assault rifle, my coil rifle, but I like point at the big SOS on the on the chest of the pressure suit. Uh, Take a fucking guess.
And
Okay, I get it. I gotta spell everything out for you. There was a distress call made from the Reynolds. As per regulations, I have to inspect the site.
I'm almost tempted to have you make a charisma roll, but I know what would happen. You see him, he keeps the gun leveled at you, and he will channel Ingrid, put her on. Captain, there's a SOS team person, one of those three that came on, that is here and saying they need to inspect the ship. I'll make those preparations. All right. You can go on through. One of the crew will meet you on the other side of the umbilical.
Okay. What's your name? Because I'll need to write in a report, I'm sure.
Smith.
Smith. Okay.
So he'll cycle the thing and let you through the airlock to walk down that umbilical, big, long, empty hallway. I think this is one of those ones where you can see all of space, the gas giant outside, the other ship. You realize just how open and empty it is. There are vent ports along here because they always have to have it in case there's an emergency, and they'd have to vent things out like people. And we see you walk on down there. You will get to the other end of this, and door will open, and you will see another armed crew person, not gun raised, but certainly at their side, and you'll see the captain. And will say, "You need to see the comms room."
I mean, the scene of the crime, right?
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you come with me then?
Yeah. So, explosion in the comms room, Captain? That seems kind of. I mean, I wouldn't like it to happen on my ship. Let's put it like that.
Well, I didn't much care for it myself. We
Ah,
believe that some of the overseer's people got into the armory, and that when we were trying to get into the comms room, there was an incident, and they blew themselves up.
lousy civilians don't know the business end of the grenade, huh?
Yep. We'll come back to you in a moment. Mac, you see the marshal heads off from another side corridor from the cargo that clearly goes kind of up to the control area. You guess that probably the overseer's offices, controls, comms, all of that kind of thing. And he will head up that way. And the thing that makes it easy for you is that there aren't people here. There ought to be like a team of people, team of techs, things like that. I think that as you are kind of walking up, following, he's clearly kind of heading up to his office. You'll look in on, there's the security monitor room. All the screens are off. there's the comms room. You'll see everything's in standby. You'll go by, the only one you'll see is like, it looks like a sort of systems engineering Atmo office, like the controls for that. And you'll see a technician seated there, but they have the uniform of the Reynolds on and not like the station uniform, but they seem to be monitoring that.
Mhm.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I can't do anything with the tech stuff. If this had been Logan instead, that would have been a different thing. But I think I'll just keep following the marshal, and if he spots me or anything, I'll just make this excuse that he offered us a briefing.
Let's have you roll stealth.
Sure. So 73 stealth. It was just one die straight up, right?
That is correct. You're looking for a 7 or better.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Think that
because
it is the part where you like have to go up a set of stairs.
Yeah.
And,
Kronk,
tunk,
kronk.
tunk, tunk. And I think as you get to the top of the stairs, the marshal is there. And he's like, I thought you were going to the infirmary.
Oh no, that's just Dr. Solari. You offered us a briefing, right?
Yeah. Why don't you,
Smiling, like being friendly
yeah.
and playing a big dumb.
Why don't you, it points, there's a briefing room is right there. Let me go grab something. And I'll meet you there in just a moment.
Oh, I figured I could take a look at the overseer's office, all of that. Just check it off, tick all the boxes. So
What
we
do you
don't
want
have to
to
do it later. We don't want to spend any more time here than necessary.
I think this is a leadership role to kind of
Yeah,
push
sure.
him, like you have authority, you're putting your authority on him.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get pressure for that failed roll, right?
No,
Or do I?
no. You get pressure when I make you make pressure rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
When the shit starts to fall apart here in a moment.
Jeez. Well, I roll another one. The dice roller clearly hates me today. So
He does that thing where he's like, so the overseer's office is under like, as you understand, high level clearance only for procedures and things like that. I mean, that's a high corp thing. And I can't let you in there without explicit corporate authorization. But if you go and wait in the briefing room, I'll come down and tell you everything that you need to know.
sure. I'll just wait in the briefing room.
Okay. And he will gesture down to that, and he will, key card his office into the marshal's office, and it goes in there.
And as soon as he's out of sight, I'm going somewhere else than to somewhere else than the briefing room.
Okay. So I think we see you taking off tuk, 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 down the hall in the other direction. Let's take our first break. Let's take 7 minutes. So we'll be back at 10 after, and we'll resume. So we cut back down to the infirmary. Dr. Bass is there. He goes and sits back down behind his desk, pulls out a vape pen, and proceeds to go on that. Is looking at his tablet, kind of letting you do what you want, though he does keep an eye on you.
All right. I'm not looking actively now, but in our interaction, did I notice if he was carrying a sidearm or not?
I think he is not carrying a sidearm, but you definitely have the feeling, just by the way he's seated and stuff, that he's probably got one in that desk.
All right. I'm gonna just do basically an obviously cursory examination. I'll like look over a patient, kind of nod, look over another patient, but in that brief examination, like what can I learn?
Let's have you make a medicine roll for me.
All right. That's another +4. That is yet another 9. That's my number today.
So you've never quite seen anything exactly like this. They have,
Considering what I saw last mission, that's
yeah, I know,
troubling.
yeah. There definitely is kind of a a strong lethargy, like system shutdown going on here. It's kind of wild. Uh, and you're looking at it, the syndrome that's going on, and I think that the first thing that you will realize as these patients are clearly dying,
Wow, okay.
uh, you don't think there's any way that the alternate effect for this is like active paranoia. Like it does not make any sense given what you're seeing here in terms of systemic things. The check over you're doing is it's purely like a system thing. Uh, um, so I'll give you that as basic, and then I want to have you. I want you to ask me a question. Like you rolled a 9, that's 2 above. So I've given you 1 point worth of information. What's the question that you want answered here?
Can I say, can I know for sure if this was a pathogen? Alternatively, was it like poison gas or something? You know what I mean?
You're looking at this. You've got enough a know-how and such. Uh, this does not seem like a pathogen.
Oh
It,
no.
it seems like these people were poisoned.
Oh no. All right.
Have any questions?
I go, no, everything looks to be in order here. You got good records. I mean, clearly these folks are not in good shape. He kind of like unceremoniously slaps one of the patient's legs, like that's like, yeah, not looking so good here. But yeah, this is everything I need for my report. So
Okay.
I'll you need anything from us? I mean, we're here to answer the call. You need any additional, we want to put in a request for more medical aid, something?
No, you need me to thumb on anything?
Yeah, just here to authenticate the reports, I think should be
Okay.
fine.
And he'll lean over to put his thumbprint on there.
All right, well, nothing you need from the team? No additional aid from us? If not, I'll just get back to my commander.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, and yeah, Wyatt'll just about face and like head right on out to the infirmary,
Okay.
trying to, speed walk casual.
Yeah. You notice there is it's a little odd. There is a secondary, like a secondary infirmary across the hall that is closed up, that is not active right now.
All right.
Seems a little odd given that they're stacking the bodies up in the first infirmary.
So I exit the first one and the door's shut behind
Yeah.
me, and it's
Yeah.
just a deserted hall.
You're in the hall, and yeah, you don't see anybody coming back, but you see across the hallway and down a little ways is the doors to infirmary 2.
Okay,
And
yeah,
it's clearly blacked out.
definitely head down that way.
Okay. You'll walk down there. It's
And
locked.
right. On the way, I calm Mac.
Okay. You hear Mac, what do you tell him?
I say Mac, these people are not sick. These people were assaulted. What's how are things going with you?
Yeah, there's not a lot of people here. Um, Looks more and more like this was hostile action, not definitely not accidental.
Yeah, I got to agree. What do we need to get out of here? I mean, I'm pretty sure they just want us gone. Like, do we just want to be gone? They'll probably give us the fuel we need, and I wouldn't count on repairs, but we can limp on to the next station. Like, what do we need to move on out of here, or do you want to stick around because something bad is going on here?
Yes, fuck the repairs. I want the fuel if we can get it, but I am not overly interested in antagonizing these people. He says as he's like walking down the corridor and looking around. But we need to know enough about what's going on to send a report. And I don't think we'll get that midnight black pay, but maybe we'll get enough for reporting whatever this is that it'll tide us over at least. And I think we're patching Logan in so that
Okay.
he can at least
As you're walking through the ship, the Reynolds, you're picking that up, Logan. Let's come to Logan then.
Wait, I'll just do a quick, like, I'll just say, all right, when we're all free, let's meet back up at whatever, you know, the dock, the dock to the butt.
Logan, Captain walks you through there. You know how these ships are laid out, and this is a pretty decent sized cargo vessel like your own. Definitely takes an odd way around. It would have been much quicker to move you through the cargo bays of the ship, but instead she walks you around kind of a long way to get to where the comms room is.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that under my hat for
Okay.
now until I get to the comms room,
Okay.
and then
Take
a look.
There's a small comms room, probably big enough for maybe 3 people in it. And it's been blasted. You can tell that the blast and the feedback went up. And that's what's broke the comms array outside. Since this is kind of hardwired, connected up to that, why don't you make an engineering roll for me?
That's an 8.
Yeah, it's pretty clear to you that this room was blown up by people breaching the room to get in and stop whatever was going on in here. There are definitely some organic materials in here. There's the remains of a body sprayed across from the explosion and such. And like pretty severe kind of overreaction given the danger to the systems.
Yeah. So I'll kind of be looking at that, and I'll have my external comms on. I'll just be kind of humming away to myself, and then I'll kind of turn back to the captain and say, "So, how did the overseer get in, and her 2 compatriots get in? I mean, it seems like security is pretty tight here."
It is now. We had no reason to suspect that there was anything wrong with the overseer. We had no provisions for that.
But like everyone was being super paranoid, right?
People were being paranoid. We didn't quite understand exactly what was going on. This developed over the course of several days.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, people don't get on my ship unless they're crew or I let them.
Yeah, no. People don't get on my ship unless they're crew now or I let them on because I can.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we all got to make a mistake once to learn the lessons.
That is a fine way to put it. Logan, was it?
Logan, yeah.
Logan, would you please make a con roll to keep your composure here?
Sure.
Actually, no, let's do this. I think this is a better point. Let's have you make a pressure roll.
Okay.
Because I think there is this moment when you realize that you're on her ship.
Yep.
She's got her whole crew. You are down in a ways. They've had no problem killing the overseer of this place.
That's a 9.
That is a 9. So increase your pressure level by 1.
Yep.
And you see her eye you. And she says, was there anything else you'd like to say to me?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
And I point the coil rifle at her chest.
Okay, let's roll initiative. So the initiative is rolled with your agility plus a d6.
Okay.
We've got one of her people plus her here as well. Okay. So I'm going to roll for them. 2 and 6. You've got a 9. All right. So I've got.
Oh, I didn't.
Looks like. Oh no, you rolled under pressure. So yeah, go roll d6 plus your agility.
I thought I rolled, but it.
I did my roll there, so still a 9. So you pull that up, and their guns come out.
If I had something smart to say, I'd say it now, but it's something, pithy from an old Hollow vid, like dodge this.
Are you shooting her?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then let's have you roll ranged.
I mean, I am sure that they murdered this overseer.
Oh yeah.
So sorry. So agility plus range.
Yeah. So that will hit.
9 is the number of the day.
It is. Look at that. So you are going to roll me a d6. Our damage cap on this is a 4, is the most damage that you can do.
Okay, and that's like no modifier, right?
No modifier, just straight up. So 1 will hit her and spin her back. Her compatriot behind her is going to take a shot at you. Now, she's probably going to get a shot at you. He's going to get a shot at you. She's going to have a penalty because she just got hit. But you have an option. I can roll against you. And then if I hit you, you can opt to dodge. If you decide to dodge, oh, I have to go. Let me roll back. I apologize. You get 2 actions on a round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me roll back. You hit her with that first shot. What do you do then?
I mean, I double tap.
Okay, absolutely. No, it's absolutely allowed to do that. Yeah, you can just
Okay.
do.
At the expense of being obvious.
No, I think that's absolutely fair.
Not a 9.
That, however, will miss. So you will. First shot hits her. Second shot misses. The guy behind you will draw his pistol and aim at you. So I roll a d6.
So you're saying I can like actively dodge and give up
So-
my next action, or
So what it is I will roll. If I hit you, you can opt to dodge. You try to beat their roll with your dodge roll. And if you do that, you can't attack on the next round. You can do anything else you want, but you just can't attack on that next round. So this is that first shot. Will miss as he, starts firing the pistol at you in here. She's kind of dropped back. She's got her gun out, and she will also take a shot at you. She needs, normally we need a 7. She needs an 8 because she's taken that damage. And she will also miss. What do you do then? You've got two people with guns firing at you. You put a wound in the captain. She is knocked down, but you're kind of pinned between these two. What do you want to do?
If they haven't already got it, I am, talking on comms to let Wyatt and Mac know what's going on. I'm going, why don't I have a grenade? Why don't we have grenades? I taught this to myself last week. Do either of these good people have grenades?
Not on them.
Okay. I guess rinse and repeat. I'm gonna, or yeah, I think I'm just gonna.
Okay. We'll come back to you in just a
Yeah.
moment. We'll do that next round of that. Mac, what are you trying to get to? What are you trying to find here? What are you trying to do?
I was mainly just looking for any place I could get into that he probably wouldn't want me to look at.
Okay. What do you want to roll that with? What do you think is appropriate?
Oh, good question. Unfortunately, it's
Perception?
probably education or something.
I think,
Perception,
yeah, you've got a point in that, and you got a charisma of 3, so that's a 4 you're rolling.
Oh, I rolled a 6.
So that is at 10. So you will find like what is clearly the marshal's quarters. And I think you'll pad that open. They haven't locked it. Marshall's dead. Nobody's coming up into this area. You'll pop in there and you start tossing the place. And I think that you will find, like, tucked away, hidden underneath, you will find a data pad. You have the sense that, like they don't believe anybody was coming to investigate. They don't believe anybody was coming to do anything. They didn't need to do a cleanup here, which says to you that whatever is happening here, this station is not going to survive it. With a 10, I think you'll do a quick scan pad. You'll see the ship arriving about 18 days ago. Overseer seems like notes that it's off schedule, but it's fine because we've had our comms go down. There's some kind of virus in the system that has affected the comms. Marshall says he's not sure how to get it back up and running. The crew, the captain and stuff are clearly here to work on the mining stuff, but it becomes clear over the course of the next few days that she becomes increasingly suspicious. And then people start getting sick. And she's like, what is going on? I don't understand what's happening here. And I think then the last entry is, I don't think they're from Wayne Tanaka at all. It looks to me like they are stripping components out of the mining things. And I think they've poisoned the crew, the miners. I don't know what's going on. I don't think their doctor is a real doctor. But comms are out. I think the marshal's in on it. I'm going to try and get on their ship to send an SOS.
Mm-hmm. I will.
What else do you find here? You rolled a 10, you rolled a 6. So tell me what other thing you find in here that you would like.
Well, a key card would be nice. Actually.
Okay. Yeah. You'll find, like, tucked away, she's got the master station key.
Mm-hmm. So I'll grab that. I will start running back again and calm the others.
You hear the sound of Logan's gun in your headset at that point.
In case you didn't already know, these are not Tanaka people. We just need to take them out or just get the hell out of here.
I think you'll turn the corner and I think you'll see the marshal there, Mac. And you see that he has his gun out and we'll come back to you in just a moment. Wyatt, you're standing at that door, and that's the point at which you'll hear the and the sound from Mac.
Oh man. He takes like half a second to kind of he's like looking at the door thoughtfully, and he's like almost reaching out to touch it, and then he hears the gunfire. It's like, oh, and then he starts running up to where the Reynolds is docked.
Right. You don't check the other infirmary.
Yeah, I gotta
Kind of
get
pause
in on the
there.
fight.
Okay. You go running. It is a long way back.
Oh
So
man.
you are running back, run down this corridor stuff. I think we'll see in the comms room, you'll see those two people who were seated there before. You see that they're still there in pretty much the same position they were when you came through before. They didn't even look at you.
Okay.
Heading on back, running down the cargo bay.
Yeah, I'm just as I'm running through, I kind of like, what do I shout? I shout like, come on, let's go, or something like that. Like I'm trying to sort of rouse them, but I can't stop and like
Yeah,
talk
I
with
think
them.
you see them like turn their heads and you realize that they're drooling.
Oh no.
It
Okay.
it looks like whatever the miners have been dosed with, it's finally creeping up on them. There ought to be a lot more people here. This is a mining station. It should have
Yeah.
like upwards of 80 to 100 miners. You have seen 14, 12 in there and 2 in
Right.
there. Where, and the mines aren't operating. You saw that. So where are the rest of them?
As I think as I'm going through the common area, I imagine like it's dawning on me how long of a run that is back to meet up with Logan. I assume there's like maybe computer terminals in the, spaced
Yeah,
around the wall kind of thing.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head over. I head over to a terminal and I start looking at this. I start looking at the station systems,
Okay.
and I'm seeing if I can, medical authorization, Charlie 57, like if they have like a quarantine protocol and I can seal off the docking bays.
Interesting. Yeah. Let's have you roll medicine.
Okay. I don't know why I keep looking it up. It's always the same. That is 7 on the dot.
So I think you can absolutely get that quarantine thing set. But I think you will realize as you're looking at this that it looks like there's another area that's under quarantine. You're like, what's going on here? And you kind of pull that up, and it looks like a group of these miners has barricaded themselves in part of the station. They've got it locked down, like in a way that tells you they clearly knew something bad was going on and they've locked themselves in.
Okay. Like one of the arms, one of the mining
Yeah,
arms kind of thing.
exactly.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I calm to Logan, like, get out of the Reynolds, get out of the Reynolds.
Okay. Let's cut back to Logan in the Reynolds. You said same verse, same as the first.
Yeah. So I guess the way I got the
We're in a
impression from
narrow
like being,
hallway,
yeah,
kind of got
jammed in
a
between them.
blown out room off to your side.
Yeah.
You've winged the captain who's dropped back. They are trying to like move themselves backwards to get some distance while shooting at you. The other person has, taken, a crouch position and is firing. What do you do?
So I'm gonna like basically I hear the call from Wyatt and like I instinctively trust him and whatever call he's making out there, he's got more information than I have. So I am like basically running over the captain.
Okay.
I'm trying to put a couple of rounds in her as I pass. But like my main objective now is to get to the sorry, which direction am I going in if I run
You'd have
past
to
her?
run past the captain, yeah.
Yeah, but is that to the exit or is
The
that like
fastest way
to the
would be to
bridge?
get over to the cargo bay, run through that, and then run down.
Yeah.
That'd be the
Okay, I'll do
fastest.
that.
Okay.
And I'll answer a question of what's in the cargo bay.
Okay. So are you more interested in getting out of here or in taking that shot?
I think I want to take the shot.
Okay, then let's have you roll that ranged at the captain.
Yeah. Oh. Dice room is going to reset. Only a 6.
That will miss, which is too bad because of course she was prone, so it would have been full damage on her. You go running, they are both going to take a shot at you. So let's start with the captain who needs an 8 to hit you. And that will wing you. So you will take 1 point of strength damage. Oh, you get to roll your armor.
Okay. So how do I do that?
You roll a d6. If you roll a 5 or a 6, she's hit you in the armor.
Okay. No.
No. So you're going to take 1 point of damage. You put that, you're going to add that to your difficulty numbers. You have 2 hit points. You have now taken half of them.
Okay.
The other guy is going to take their shot at you and will miss.
Okay.
You are very, very lucky, my friend. I think it's that they spend their other action like getting up, hitting the the klaxon that sounds out as you go in. You'll hit the cargo bay, go running down it. You can see like they have stripped all of the valuable materials, boards, equipment, all of that has been like all the mining stuff. That's why 3 of the 4 of the mining things aren't in operation. They've also got some stacks of the condensed material you need.
The refueling.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
you can grab it. However, just know that it is highly volatile.
Well, it'd be a shame. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
And keep running.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to you in a moment.
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay. Mac. Marshall's there. What do you do?
So he has his sidearm out.
Yep.
I'm going to like, just wait, we can talk about this, and then just pull my sidearm and shoot him.
Okay. So this is an agility contest.
Ooh.
I've got a 6.
Well, let's see. I have a 3 in agility. I also get a 6.
6. So you are going to simultaneously shoot.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Okay. So he's going to take a shot at you. Difficulty is a 7 to hit you. Oh, and he misses. Take
So do I.
your shot. Oh, you're both firing. I imagine there's that both of you fire, and then both of you like duck into doorways, around corners, things like that. And he's like, you need to stand down if you want to get out of here, sir.
Yeah, same to you. And I just fire for a couple of rounds out into the corridor.
All right, I'm going to give you another round of shooting. Now you guys both need 8s because you're both kind of undercover here.
I think if I can, I'll take the time to switch to my foil rifle.
Okay. Absolutely. So he's going to take his shot. He will hit, but
Oof.
you also, this is also, we're still on the same initiative, so simultaneous.
Yeah. Rifle beats handgun. Oh, 7. Damn it.
So you do hit him for a point because that's
Oh.
right on. Oh, no, it's a difficulty's 8, so we actually miss on that one.
Yeah. That was kind of, yeah.
And you should roll your armor. See if you can deflect.
Oh, how do I
Roll a
do that?
d6, and you want a 5 or a 6.
Mistake. I was
Oh,
5.
look at that. That is great because otherwise you would have taken 2 points of damage. So like you get winged there. But I think that is the thing. You two are kind of like pinned down. So now you have to decide after we go to Wyatt and come back around to you whether you're going to keep up this firefight or try to find some other way to get around this. Sound good?
Yep.
Wyatt, you'll head down the cargo bay.
I'm gonna see. All right, where the people sealed themselves off.
Uh-huh.
I just want to like if they've got a terminal or a readout or something in there. I just want to send a canned like acknowledged message or help is on the way or something. Like I don't know if anyone's gonna see it, but it's just
Okay.
just to let them know there are friendlies.
Absolutely.
And then I feel like I hear Mac's voice on the comm, like, let's talk about this, and then gunfire. I'm like, come on. But I don't know where Mac is, so I'm gonna
So
head where I know.
he went to the admin office. You saw the door for that on the way up. So it's like about halfway along the cargo thing. It was a side area off.
Yeah, but it's fine. Like I have a better idea where Logan is. So
Okay. You open up that cargo door. You step out there, and I think you will see this guard walking up. And as soon as those doors come open, the guy who was standing in front of the Reynolds earlier has been dispatched down here, and you'll see him raise his rifle.
okay. This is so far from my strong suit, but I go, thank God, Bass sent me. They're rioting in the infirmary. And I see if I can get him to.
Let's have you make a charisma roll.
Yeah. Oh, it's not terrible. Ooh, that's a 5.
And you see him go. It's kind of now he's stepping up and he goes, I don't think so. And he will fire at you.
Indeed.
Okay. So, but he will miss on his first shot and he will close the distance. What do you want to do? Like he's moving towards you.
All
Keep
right,
the
so
shots, move towards you.
somewhere beyond him is Logan and his problems. Is that right?
Yeah, because you're the
Okay.
cargo way. We got the containers off to the sides. He's coming down this big cargo hull towards you. At the far end is where the Reynolds is and your ship.
All right. I'm just gonna try to just shoulder into him. Like that's
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna like he's
make a
closing in. I'm just
strength
like,
roll.
oh yeah. Even less my strong suit.
No, it's equally bad. Actually, no, here, I'll tell you what. I'll let you roll dodge.
Oh, sweet.
That's
my
1 point better.
My shiny new point in dodge. Oh no, that's a 4.
You go past him, and I do think that like he catches you, uh, trips you, and drops you to the ground there. And like the gun is getting pointed down towards you at that moment. We'll come back to you in just 1 second. Logan, you've got a hold of this thing. You're running out down the umbilical of the Reynolds, getting out of here.
That is the plan.
Okay. Let's have you make an agility roll. Basically, speeding to get ahead of potential pursuit.
Probably not great. A 5 on the dice and whatever I'm carrying from penalties.
So you will hit the end of that hall to the other end of that umbilical, and even as you hit it, you'll hear the as they lock it.
So I'm locked on the outside.
Here, so they've kind of gotten out of the Reynolds. You've run down the umbilical to the
Okay.
side of the station, and you get there, and you're just like, "This is it," and it's locked. And
Okay.
like the klaxons are going, like they're getting ready to vent the umbilical.
Okay. So is this like an airlock that I can try to open or hang on
Yeah,
to or
yeah.
something like that?
I think an engineering roll if you want to try and get through here.
And just as a reality check, the impression when I was walking over it was like this was a very long umbilical cord. But is that like accurate, or is that
It's a
just?
you've got some space between it and the main ship. It's a pretty big one because they take cargo back and forth through it.
But I mean, like distance lengthwise.
Yeah, maybe 30, 40 meters.
Okay. Um, you know what I'm going to do? How volatile is this fuel cell?
We'll find out, won't we?
Okay.
But it can be potentially pretty volatile.
Okay. So if I go back
It's
to
the volatile of if someone shoots you while you're holding it and you roll your armor, you don't want to roll a 1.
yeah. But if I was like 30 or 40 meters away from it, I'd be kind of relatively safe. Do you reckon?
Possibly.
Possibly. So I'm gonna go back to the airlock of the Reynolds
Okay.
and slap this thing on their airlock door,
Okay.
and
That
then
that
run
is
back.
definitely an engineering roll.
Yeah.
The engineering roll is basically to get it there are you like setting some kind of timer? Are you getting ready to shoot it? What is your plan?
I yeah, I'm not sure I would have like a timer jury rigged for this kind of thing, so I think I'm just gonna have to shoot it the old-fashioned way.
All right. In that case, it's a ranged roll. You drop this there, run back
Okay.
down the
Yeah.
corridor.
Could you like rig it so that it's connected to when they open the airlock? Or does that sound too convoluted?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you want to do, Logan?
If you want to shoot it, just shoot it. That's
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my instinct and
Okay.
and shoot it.
Let's have you roll.
Okay. So it's a 7 on the dice, but I think with the damage I've taken, that'll be down to a 6, right?
Yeah. So I think that you shoot this thing. And I think that it is significantly more volatile than you thought. And it goes up because this is like the refined compressed, like this is the pure, they've packed it in here. It goes up. And I think there is that as the umbilical blows up, as all the oxygen in this umbilical catches fire. And suddenly you don't have to worry about the locked airlock because you are in space right now as this is going on. The Reynolds is starting to drift because the connection is off from there. And you can see that like there's some depressurization going on the Reynolds towards the end. But it is drifting away, though they will have a chance to catch with their engines. But you have cut that off from there, but you are, as they say, in space. I think we turn and you can see the full atmo of the gas giant below you. I think probably you also see some other things caught in the kind of the gravity well of the station, probably hovering around out there. You'll see various like garbage and stuff gets dumped out into space, and it tends to hang around the station because of the artificial gravity. And I think that's when you'll see the bodies floating out there. We'll come back to you in just 1 second. Mac, look at how, I guess I can say, what do you tell your compatriots? Like, what do you see over the comms before this all happens?
I mean, I think I'm giving, like, in between turns when we're on the Reynolds, I'm giving like a very brief running commentary. And then when I like set the thing up and make my way back to the other end of the umbilical, I go, hold on, I'm gonna do something stupid.
And the station shakes. Like his comms cut out and the station shakes. Mac, like everything shakes in here suddenly. Like all of the vibration of that just runs through here. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think if there's time, like we're having this firefight, if there's just a brief lull, I just get out of this damn spacesuit
Okay.
because it's just hindering me. And then I'm going to do the 80s action hero thing. And oh yeah, that 9mm you have, that stings a bit. But this this is a Militaris Mil 69 10mm coil rifle. And I just start walking down the corridor, like hip shooting at him, firing short bursts, and just do whatever I can to kill him.
Okay. I tell you what, you're sort of desperate walking into fire. I want you to make a pressure roll.
Sure, sure. I'm sure that will go fine. I have a +4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 6.
So increase your
So,
pressure level by 1.
mhm.
Essentially, and I'm going to let you take your shot before that pressure penalty comes into play. So you need 7 here.
That's a
Look
10.
at that. So he pops out and then let's have you roll a d6 for damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a Paul Verhoeven film. He dances back, blood is everywhere, squibs go flying off, and the marshal just slides down to the floor as you are I assume picking up speed now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. I didn't think that would work.
Wyatt, this guy's got you dead to rights, gun face down to you, and then the station fucking shakes. And like there is a woof of like air comes from that far end, and this guy like looks up because that's where his ship is at. What do you do?
I try to I'm trying to in one motion roll. I'm on like face down, right?
Yeah.
When I try to roll to my back and grab his gun hand.
Okay. Yeah, what do you want to roll that with?
What's the like wrestling? I guess it's hand to hand.
Hand to hand, it'd be a strength roll.
All right.
I will give you a +1 bonus for Logan's distraction.
Nice. So that's a +3 now. Oh wow. Rolled a 1, got a 4.
So I think that you get a hold of that, and he pulls the trigger.
Hmm.
I am going to take a shot at you, but I am going to miss. Essentially, bullets go flying. You've got a second action. What do? Your two of you are wrestling for it. He's firing the pistol right by your head. Probably clips the edge of this thing, and that you're not sure. It might have gotten scratched. Might be a crack at the back.
No,
You're not sure.
no, my dome.
What do you want to do for your second action?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to shove him.
Okay.
Try to push him away.
All right.
Is
So
the station seems intact, or is there
Yeah.
rushing air?
Yeah, no, it seems intact
Okay.
right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I just try to shove him away.
Okay, let's have you make another strength roll here.
Oh man, rolling all kinds of ones. I got a 3.
I think there is that bit when you kind of push on him, try to push away. And I think that he will bend down and he kind of starts lifting you up off the ground in that way that he has stopped taking you seriously as an opponent. And he's got you and kind of lifting you up to get moving back towards his ship and maybe get this pistol up towards the dome of your thing and just start firing into it. And I think the two of you are kind of down the corridor there. Logan, what do you do?
I mean, I'm floating, right? I'm kind of I'm in the gravity of the station, but like just nowhere,
Yeah, you've kind of off from that. There's lots of debris around you. What does this thing have? What does this suit have? Does it have any kind of thrusters? Does it have a grapple hook? Does it have? And we know you have mag boots. What do you have that you can put to your use?
I don't think it has like a jetpack. Although that might explain how clunky they are.
Yeah.
But I think for sure like a grappling hook or like a magnet hook,
Okay.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. What do you want to try and
case.
hook on to? The Reynolds, the station, your own ship?
I think my own ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of try to ignore the Reynolds for now. Although, do I see like Wyatt being carted by Smith?
Yeah, I think just because it's dramatic for the cinematics of this, I do think you see through like the cargo, the second, like you're floating past the next like cargo doors thing, and you'll see the light, and you see Solari getting dragged by this guy.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna shoot the mag hook onto that corridor, and like I can see Solari is still in his pressure suit, so
Yeah.
I'm willing to get a breach in the corridor to take care of Smith, right?
So I think this is two rolls.
Okay.
I think the first one is the ranged roll to get hooked onto this.
And the second one is the common sense roll to
It's
say
going to
I
be
should have
the
never started this whole business.
the engineering.
Okay. So let me roll to hook on. Yeah, that's probably a near miss again with a 7 on the roll.
You have a choice. You can, because you throw that and you're going to miss there. But you could try and get that door opened.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have a good grip. Or you could try again to get yourself hooked on.
Yeah. Could I say that like I fire off that mag hook and I think it's on something solid, but it's not. Like I'm gonna when I take the action, it's gonna just snap off or not have the purchase.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let's have you roll that engineering.
Okay. That's an 11.
That is an 11, even with the difficulty enhancement.
Yeah.
This guy has gotten close to the cargo thing, dragging Wyatt, and you hit the thing, and there's that as it opens, and Wyatt and this guy go flying out, but the wind, the air, all of that mass hits you, and you go tumbling back. And you are not hooked on. You'll see the punk as the mag thing did not connect on, and you are out now, actually in motion away.
Yeah. When that gets a bugger over comms.
Mac, you hit the doors, come down. As you throw open the doors, you'll see Solari. You see this guy. You're like, okay. You start to raise your gun, and that's when you, who is not wearing a pressure suit, sees the whoosh, and suddenly air starts rushing out into the vacuum of space, and you see Solari and this guy's starting to fly out. What do you do, Mac?
Is like, am I in the same space?
You're in the cargo bay, like you've stepped out of the administrative area, out into the cargo
Yeah,
bay, kind of stepped in, and you can see that they're down maybe 20, 30 meters from you.
Well, I'm going to assume that they're done for. That's just now I'm just trying to get to the ship.
Okay. So you're trying to run, fight the pull of this, and get to the ship before all of the air is vented out of this.
Yeah, and I had the key card, so
Yeah.
first moment I can, if there is the opportunity to just close the door, or did you blow it open? I'm not sure.
He opened it up. He basically threw it open. So you have two choices.
Yeah,
You can run, fly to shut that thing, or you can run, fly to get to your connector.
But I'm going to try to close it then.
Okay. Let's come back to you in a moment. I want to resolve Wyatt before we have you resolve your role. Wyatt, suddenly the two of you are in the air as you are being sucked out into the vacuum of space. And this guy is screaming as this happens. What do you do?
All right. There were two things I want to do immediately upon realizing that we're venting.
Mm-hmm.
One is I want to turn on my own mag boots because I'm still
Okay.
in my pressure suit.
Yeah.
And two, I want to fire my magnet hook out toward Logan.
Okay. I think there is no role for activating your mag boots. We've established that, but I do think that is your first action, that as you're tumbling, you hit those, and this guy peels off of you. And you see Logan, he's a ways away. He's got a line. Let's have you roll. Let's have you make a perception roll for this one. I'm going to be as generous as humanly possible.
Very generous.
Because I think you just need to get it in the zone for him to grab onto.
That is an 8.
Logan, there is that moment when you're turning over and over again, and then there's that tug, and you realize that there is a magnet line onto your boot. And I think we'll start to see you, Wyatt, kind of pulling him back in. Does that seem right?
Yeah, if he has the wherewithal, yeah. Like
Well,
his only thought was to get it with it. Like he had pictured Logan like grabbing on, but if I hooked him, even better. Like
yeah.
I'm just trying to.
Mac, you're running towards that. You'll see that Wyatt and Logan have Wyatt is dragging Logan back onto the ship. Mac, do you want to try and hold yourself steady while they pull him in so that
Yeah.
I think that is going to be a strength roll.
That sounds fair. I have a +3 in strength. That's a 5.
Okay. So take 2 points of damage.
Yeah. Oops, not 20.
Not 21. It killed 8 of you. So I think it is that you're braced on there, you're trying to get it set, and I think that you're gonna get it shut. Like, I don't think that's a problem, but like you feel the creep of the freezing on you, you feel the blood vessels burst in your eyes, like you know how cold it is in the winter when your eyelashes and your nose freeze, all of that, and then just as Logan gets pulled in, you'll hit that thing, and then it'll shut, and you'll hear the rumbling of the emergency air processors in here. And I think you'll see the Reynolds bracing itself and getting itself set back up. Like to do something. You three are together. What do you want to do?
I want to. This is a thing I expect to be interrupted. I just like, as this action sort of comes to a close, like Wyatt can see Mac suffering the effects of pressurization, and like again, for the second mission in a row, that's like a thing from Wyatt's past, like the depressurizing
Oh, yeah.
issues. So he is immediately reaching for his med gear and trying to get to Mac. But I assume like Mac or Logan will have a different idea of what to do.
Logan, there was a moment where you really thought you were going to fall into that gas giant before you got grappled. So what do we see you doing when you get pulled in? You kind of crash to the floor of this.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of climbed to my feet, but then realized that there's this extra mag hook on my other boot, so I'm kind of hopping awkwardly for a moment, and I just give White a nod and say nice.
Mac?
Heroes don't get extra pay, but fuck, we're worth it. And is there anyone left to save, or do we just get to the ship?
Wyatt?
Yeah, well, you're asking. Oh, yeah, this is
Yeah.
dialogue that's going on. He's like, yeah, there's the whole mining crew is still left in the station, and he in the whatever the extractor wing, and and he goes, plus one of those Reynolds guys that the doctor, like we can collect him. I'm sure that's going to be worth something, but we can round him up before we go. But yeah, man, all those miners are still in there. But he's like,
Yeah.
and he kind of points out the portal window at the Reynolds reorienting itself, and he goes, but I'm worried about that.
Yeah, me too. Logan, do you have an idea?
For our unarmed ship.
Or whatever we have here that we can use against that.
I did forget about that, I will say.
Can we eject one of the mining whatevers, or can we throw a stick at them?
I mean, is there any other of the unobtainium, whatever we're calling it, fuel in the cargo bay?
Probably down in the mining area, but not here in the cargo
Yeah.
bay. They've been moving it into their ship. You will see the ship like set the Reynolds, and you'll see it lift and it start to go over the station. And I think as you see that, you will see like a gun port lower.
My only idea is to boot up the transmission array and to identify exactly who and what they're guilty of over a broadcast. That's where I'm at.
Oof.
But if someone else wants to do that while we fly.
Well, are we? So we're in the cargo bay right now, or
In the
are
cargo
we...
bay. So you've got
Okay.
a couple of choices. You could head back down through this vessel, get the miners out. You could go down to the infirmary, get the doctor, get those people out. You could hop in your ship, might be able to, with some risky flying, hook onto the mining thing and evac the miners that way. But it's very clear to you as the thing passes over that the Reynolds is heading for the orbital stabilizer for the station. They don't care about your ship, but they're going to drop this thing out of orbit to burn the evidence to a crisp.
Yeah, getting to our ship and trying to hook the miners, that sounds like the best combination of things we can do, because we're not going to take out their ship. So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Wyatt shouts Wyatt, so we're all kind of getting up and like saying, what do we do? And talking and stuff. And
Mhm.
Wyatt's like, he's like, yeah, get to the ship. And he runs with them and then like stops at a terminal along the hall. And he wants to, so in my mind, right, this is like this gas giant mining operation,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got like, tanks full of ammonia or something, right? There's like stuff like in this station. So he wants to see if like he can vent something
Ooh.
out of the station onto the Reynolds, like a kind of,
I like that. Are you enlisting Logan to help you?
please. Yeah.
In that case, I
Yeah,
think
as we're kind of going by, because he sees the terminal and he goes over and he's like, hold on, there's got to be something useful on the station. And then he sees kind of the layout, and there's like a big swiveling exhaust sort of, vent seal that opens up. And he's like, Logan, check this out.
I'll toss you the key card and
okay.
run
Nice.
towards our ship to do like the basic boot up sequence, because I think I can manage that. I can't
Okay.
fly it, but I can at least get things set.
So that feels like a computer's roll, Wyatt, with a +1 from Logan.
Excellent. Computer, where am I? I'm here. So 4 and 1 more is 5. That is a 10.
And so I like that we see this thing coming over, and you'll hear the sound of this ship, like you feel the station rock as it starts firing. But then you'll open up like all of the liquid stores and materials and volatile like stuff they use for processing, and you will vent that out. And I think that will vent out even as they're firing the next salvo, and that will catch their ship. And I imagine that we see the spot that Logan hit before that was damaged. I imagine we see the front of that tear open from this secondary explosion. And I think the front of the rear of the Reynolds kind of tears open there. And we see the ship spiraling down into the atmosphere. And I imagine the next bit, the montage, is the three of you rushing back to the ship, Mac having booted this up, and a desperate race to try and get these miners out of the segment before this can go down. So this is a challenge to do. Logan, I need you to roll piloting. If you want, I think you can do. Well, I can give you a med pack to heal your damage, so you can take that off your difficulty number there.
Okay, yeah. I've got one myself. I'd
Okay.
not had the chance to slow down
Yeah.
to do anything like that. But yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, piloting.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So you hit the thrusters, you move back, even as this thing is starting to drift out of orbit. And you'll catch on to one of the mine drop crane sections. You'll drop the connector onto it and they have these for emergency evacuation. And I think this is a combination of Mac and Wyatt. Mac rolling leadership, with Wyatt assisting at a +1 to see how many of these people you can get out before you have to detach.
Oof. Do I also have time to patch up first?
Yeah, I think so. You can heal a point.
Okay. So my leadership is 4, but I have 1 point of pressure and 1 point of damage.
Okay. Assuming that you've got Wyatt there, Wyatt can heal with medicine, so we'll assume that your damage is not an issue here, but your pressure
Cool.
is. So
Pressure.
roll leadership with a +1 for Wyatt's assistance.
So that's +5. That's pretty good. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. 9. That's
9.
enough. Right? 9 is enough.
You
Or
are
it's
that
pretty good.
is enough. Even with the difficulty increase, you are able to get this group of about a dozen people out of that and jam-packed onto your ship. And I imagine we see the vessel kind of peeling off even as this station drops out of orbit, and we see it starting to do that re-entry. I imagine we see the flare up from the Reynolds as it hits, and then we see the bigger flare up as this station and everything that's volatile on it goes up in one massive explosion. And I imagine the next bit is Wyatt having to do emergency sedation. You have probably emergency packs for sedating people for hypersleep. It's not great. It's the kind of thing that you can do, but requires some therapy when they get back home. And we can see that. What's before we do epilogues, what's the last bit we see in the ship here from Logan?
Yeah, I think I am like putting everything into a file and setting it up so that if there's any deviation from our path or any kind of interruption of any kind, it just gets, you know, a buoy, let's call it, gets flown out to make the alert public, you know.
Absolutely. So, see, working the console, getting that in place. What do we see of you doing?
I feel like I'm sitting down with a lot of paperwork from the company, and there's this whole kind of setup about how, like we're doing a lot of back and forth on like we answered the call. Yeah, but there was this massive, like there's a loss of a mining station, and what's troubling the most is all the evidence that burned up and just got disintegrated in the thing. And I feel like Mac and Wyatt are both here for this. Like Mac's like trying to explain all this to the company. We're trying to negotiate our hazard pay and stuff.
Yeah.
And they go, and the bureaucrat that he's talking to on the other end is like, but there's nothing to support your story. If you had one shred of evidence, something that would show like what you're talking about is true, like we need someone to blame for this. And Wyatt is over Mac's shoulder and passes him a digital pad, and you can see like a document opened up, and it's got a thumbprint on the bottom.
Yeah, and you bring up that, and I pull out the data pad from the marshal's room as well with the overseer's note. I think
Excellent.
we've got you covered on that part.
Plus, Wyatt, I think you have a bullet that you extracted from my side, you know.
Absolutely, as well as some witnesses, even though they're minors. And so I think you certainly won't get the pay that you hoped for, and it is tied up in some red tape, but you will get paid when they finally realize they need to just make this go away. That kind of like, we don't need anybody talking about this anymore because we just want to file for the insurance claim. What's our long-term epilogue? What do you think we see of Logan like down the road a ways?
I think maybe we see him doing the whatever passes for a milk run in the SOS. And maybe like this is like a like a stand-up routine for new pilots so that they get used to the procedures and they get used to the controls, then we got an experienced pilot, but it's like I think we see this like nervous twitch in Logan anytime like there's like that light flashes up about incoming messages. It's like another fucking distress call. No shit,
Excellent.
there we were. Is how we end.
Wyatt, what do we see of you long term?
I think that Wyatt serves out his term of obligation to the company that kind of started him in this down this road, and he almost certainly finds a way to get early release. Like he is enough, he can be enough of a corporate toady, like whatever the corporations want done on these missions, like he can try and work that out. He probably got an early release, and I think down the road, he's on whatever like posh executive planet, like he's got his doctor's office and the potted plant and all of that, and he's trying to leave all of that behind. And there's probably, I don't even know. I was trying to think of something from the missions we've seen, but I imagine like on his desk or something there's some kind of like a keepsake in epoxy or something like that, just
You have a little
something like
little
that.
model of the golden butt on your.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. And Mac, you're not a short timer.
No, but I think because Mac had this, what I said from the beginning was that he had this idea that, oh, I'm just saving up for retirement and then I'm going to cash out. And, so I think we see this, I think we see him standing in front of like the equivalent of an ATM or that sort of thing. And he sees this, the pay from this job and maybe a couple of other jobs has come in, and he sees the number there, and he's just trying to decide. He's hesitating if he should cash out or if he should sign up for another term, and that's where we leave it.
Oh, excellent. And that's our episode. That's our mission today. Thank you all very much. I would like to do a quick round of stars and thoughts from folks for this. I enjoyed running this. It is an interesting rules light system. As I talked last time, it can be harsh. I did definitely want to try and do a scenario today that was a very different skill set in some ways than last time. And I enjoyed that and how you dealt with the things. And I also like people blowing things up. So I always appreciate that.
We appear to do that a lot.
Yes. Donna.
I mean, I updated my concept with a comment: mission specialties, pissing people off, shooting after asking awkward questions, and blowing shit up. So I think that summarizes hair trigger Logan.
Yes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed today's session. I also said, oh, it's going to be very intriguey and like, and then obviously I got back to the corner and I pulled the trigger literally on messing that up.
The person with the one charisma going in to do that was an interesting.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said to Anish, who do we want to piss off more? But I mean, that whole kind of end of sequence where we had the explosion and the grappling hooks and Wyatt saving Logan, that was all just spectacular action stuff. And yeah, Wyatt can certainly pull it out when he needs to. So yeah, I love that. And Lowell, for you, I think especially like that whole sense of unease we had when we came onto the station, the shifty looks, these guys are not on the level, like that was perfectly pitched. And then when we went completely off the rails, you let us swing for the fences on that, so that was great too. And I guess the other thing I loved, Anish, about Mac is that, this, we're here for the payday. We're here for the payday. And there was that moment where I go, is he going to leave us? Is he going to leave us?
Yes.
As I put in the chat, leave no man, strikeout, paycheck behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wasn't sure myself. So.
I like it.
Yeah, so stars all around. Great session.
Rob?
Yeah, that was tremendous. That was also kind of skipping forward to the end. That was also, I think, one of my favorite Mac Holden moments was when like it was so unexpected to me, even though I guess it shouldn't have been, but it was just so perfect. Like the realization to me, Rob as a person, like, wow, he could just walk away. And like I was like, that's so right somehow. But I really enjoyed that. But the scene that was most vivid to me was while being dragged away down the corridor, the possibility of seeing Logan float by outside, like that was just so almost funny to me. I was just so taken by that. Like maybe even the guy dragging me, like the two of us kind of say, oh my god, like things have gone horribly wrong. There's like a dude floating by, and then that resulting in him firing at the station and then blowing out the door. I was like, this is all just chef kiss. But yeah, one of my kind of secondary things, like when I try out games like this, the sort of light but directed, like I do like to see how characters not good at combat fare in things. And I thought it went really well. Like I always felt like I had things to do, and I credit Lowell a lot for that. Like the fiction is always interesting. Like if I am not good with a gun or punching people or whatever, like I think I failed every physical altercation role, but it was still compelling fiction.
Here's the thing is, it's so paid off when you hit the mag boots, like all of that getting and then you're the one who is able to survive when that happens. I felt really good about that. That was really smart.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and it was smooth. Like it flowed smoothly, and it went well. And but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And Adish.
Yeah, seconding everything. I think this shows what how the good side of an OSR type game, like how the things it can do when it works really well. Because you can go into the fiction a lot and then just dip out and make a roll when it matters. And you have a lot of freedom to shape the fiction, and as you do when you invite us to add things ourselves, that makes it really shine. I think I'm not a big OSR guy myself, even though that's the kind of games I kind of grew up with, but yeah, I think this worked really well in that mode. I really enjoyed all our complete misses and great successes, and that we actually pulled it off at the end. That was enjoyable. I liked that it went well, even though I was kind of setting, oh, this is going to turn out horribly. We're all going to die, and that would have been fine too. I mean, if it happened in a satisfactory. Yeah, really great to play with you, Rob. I haven't done that before, so that was fun. I don't think, at least, if it wasn't a long time ago. Oh, good. I sometimes forget. But otherwise, yeah, super fun.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you all for being willing to try this out. It was fun to do this. I'll write up my impressions on it for the blog. For those of you at home, I got a review copy, which is why I'm running this. So I did dig it. I am going to stop the recording.